Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I will be showing you some of the games played in the Grenke Freestyle Chess Festival 2025. So let's get started. We will start off the first game between Etienne Backrot and Magnus Carlsen. Here Magnus Carlsen is having the black pieces and they start off the game. Etienne plays d4, Magnus plays d5, his opponent plays knight g3. Both of them castle their kings. And then it is followed up with f6, e4, d takes e4, knight takes e4, knight g6, knight b3. Three of the knights are in the center, and now Magnus plays e5, striking back in the center. Etienne plays d takes e5. Magnus takes the rook with check. Etienne takes back, and then knight takes e5, f4, knight c4, a4, which is apparently a mistake. Magnus replies with b6, unlocking his queen from the corner of the board. This entire diagonal is controlled. Also with the attack on the knight. g3 is played, f5, attacking the knight. The knight doesn't move. His opponent plays bishop h3. So the pawn can't capture the knight because it is pinned with the help of this bishop, eyeing the king. Magnus plays rook takes e4. The idea being, if his opponent takes back with the knight, then Magnus can take this knight with his queen and then put his knight over this square and then launch an attack together on the f2 square, c2 square. Bishop takes f5 check, rook e6, defending against that check, queen a2, queen c6, knight b5, king b7. Couple of great moves played by Magnus, one after the other. Knight to d4, here creating a fork with the knight against the king and the rook, queen and the rook. Queen d5, removing itself from the fork. Bishop takes e6, bishop takes e6, b3, which is a mistake. Bishop a3 check, and this king can't escape from these squares because it is controlled with the knight, as you can see. King d1, queen h5. Here attacking this rook on d1, rook d3, queen h3. Here eyeing the square because if black were to play something else, for example like this move, then it is a checkmate. After this rook will protect and this queen will take the rook. So his opponent plays rook d1. Magnus plays the brilliant move knight d2 check. His opponent plays king a1, bishop b4, queen b2, bishop g4, c1, knight f3. Magnus maneuvering his pieces all over the board, slowly creating an attack towards the king. Knight takes f3, bishop takes f3, queen takes g7, knight c6. Magnus is bringing all his pieces into the attack. This bishop and this queen. King b2, bishop d2, attacking the rook. Rook a1, defending itself. Queen g2, bishop d4. Covering this diagonal. In case his opponent, Magnus, tries to fork the king and the queen on this diagonal, that's why. Bishop e4, Bishop e4 creates the ideas that Magnus will put his bishop on the square and slowly create an attack with the help of this bishop and queen on this pawn on c2, bishop c3, bishop e3, and finally Magnus's opponent resigns and Magnus won the game. The next game we will be looking at is between Leon Mendonca and Richard Rapport. So let's start. Here the game begins with f4, f6, e4, e5, f5, b6, a4, a5, knight g3, d5, bishop f2, knight d7, bishop f5, c6, bishop e2, retreating back the bishop, knight f7, bringing the knights towards the center of the board, short castles, knight d6. Leon brings his knight towards the center of the board, here controlling these squares. Bishop h5 attacking the rook, rook e7, defending itself against the bishop's attack. E takes d5, c takes d5, opening up this file. d4, e4, bishop e3, knight b8. As you can see, here the position is pretty closed. In closed positions, knights are superior than bishops. As you can see, this bishop is more or less like a pawn. It has very less squares which it is controlling, and this bishop is also in the corner of the board, not controlling as many squares. So let's see what happens. b3, knight c6, c3, rook e c7. Leon lines up his rooks on these semi-open files, ready for attacks. Knight a3, queen b7, bishop f4, rook d7, queen b2, knight a7, bishop e2, b5, bishop takes d6. Here white is better. Bishop takes d6, knight takes b5, knight takes b5, bishop takes b5, rook dc7, again lining up the rooks on this semi-open file. Queen e2, queen b6, queen h5, which is a mistake, and here bishop f7 is played, attacking the queen and gaining tempo. Queen takes h7, rook takes c3, rook cd1, bishop takes g3, takes g3, king e7. King e7 does is it opens up this file for the rook, so in the future the queen can go back on this rank and together they can attack this queen over here and also create a possible battery on this h file. g4, queen b8, queen h4. Queen h4 is blunder because here black will just play rook h8 and attack this queen, also winning a tempo. Also his rook on this c file is facing the king and he can create a battery with the help of which he can attack the king. Rook h8 played as discussed. Queen e1, queen h2 check. That battery had worked. King f2, queen g3 check. King g1, queen h2 check. King f2, rook f3 check. King e2, queen g2 check. Rook defends and rook h2, which is a brilliancy because here if rook takes queen then this is just checkmate in 4 moves. So yes, this was the game. The next game we will be looking at is between Hans Niemann and Dennis Kadrich. This is the round 4 of Grenke Freestyle Chess Festival 2025. The game starts off with e4, e5, bishop c4, bishop c5, Knight c3, knight c6. Everyone over here is developing in the center. a3, a6, f3, bishop takes g1, rook takes g1, queen a7, attacking the rook, long castle, long castles, knight g3, queen c5, queen a2, knight d4, b4, f8, queen, knight d5, f6, c3, knight e6, a4, c6, knight gives a check to the king over here to gain some tempo, queen c7, sorry, king c7, a5, knight f7, knight f5, g6, knight e3, knight d6. Here the position is again very closed. These pawns are facing each other. These knights are controlling the center squares over here. And white plays bishop takes e6, bishop takes e6, queen c2, knight b5, knight e c4, queen f7, queen b3, king b8, king b2, d5, striking in the center, e takes d5, captures, c takes d5, the center is slightly opening up slowly, knight a3, d4, pushing that pawn, c4, not allowing any captures, d3, knight takes b5, a takes b5, queen a3, bishop takes c4, a6, b takes a6, queen takes a6, queen a7, both queens are facing each other, rook a1, rook e7, queen gc1, sorry, rook gc1, queen takes a6, rook takes a6, king b7 attacking the rook, rook ca1 protecting the rook and creating a battery. Both rooks are together on this open file ready to attack the king. Rook c7, rook a7 check, king c6, knight takes c4, rook takes a7, knight takes e5 check, king d5, rook takes a7, king takes e5, king c3, rook c8 check, king takes d3. This game has come down to an endgame where black has 4 pawns and white has got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pawns. Hans Niemann is better over here playing with the white pieces. Rook c4, rook e7 check, king f5, rook e4, rook c1, h4, g5, h5. And here Hans's opponent resigns because Hans is having an extra pawn and also his rook is more active than black's rook. So this was the game. The next game is between Pranesh and Sindarov. Here Sindarov has the white pieces and Pranesh is playing with the black pieces. The game starts off with e4, knight g6, f3, c5, b3, f6, followed up with d4, e6, d takes c5, bishop takes c5, bishop takes c5, rook takes c5, queen d4 centralizing the queen and attacking the rook, b6 protecting the rook, knight a3, e5 attacking the queen, queen d2, bishop e6, knight b5, short castles, knight d6 centralizing the knight, knight e7, knight g3, g6, c4, a6. All the pawns are being pushed to control the center. The white pieces are also doing the same. Bishop e2, knight c8, knight takes c8, rook f takes c8, short castles, queen a7, king h1, queen c7, a4, queen d8, bishop d3, queen e7, knight e2, king g7, f4, a5, knight c3, knight c6, f5, bishop f7, knight b5, g5, rook c d1, d8. Rook d8 is with the plan that this pawn can be pushed in the future. Bishop e2, knight b4. Again, this knight over here protected by this pawn and it can't be attacked by any other pawns. So this is an outpost for the knight, a very active outpost for the knight where it can see all these squares. Queen e3, rook c6, rook d2, knight a6, rook fd1. The rooks are being lined up on this semi-open file to create an attack in the future. Knight c5, knight a7, rook c7, knight b5, rook c6, knight a7, rook c7, and with the help of this repetition this game has come to a draw. So yes guys, these were some of the games in the Grenke Freestyle Chess Festival 2025. Thank you for watching. I will see you all in the next video.